Sometimes I just want to throw away everything that I do, from the Matt Report to this channel to the podcast. Oftentimes I'm just like, I'm sick of doing this stuff, and I don't think anybody really cares about the content that I put out. And then all of a sudden, there will be a random tweet, or I'll get a random direct message, or somebody will reference me in a blog post, and they'll say, hey, I've been really enjoying the hard work or the efforts or the content that you've been putting out. And most recently, this happened with a gentleman by the name of Jeffrey Carradine. I'll link him up below. I'll link the tweet, where he is now saying, you know what? I've been listening to this whole digital handshake thing that you've been talking about, Matt, and I'm going to make my own effort. I'm going to start doing my own effort with creating that digital handshake with my own customers and my own audience. And kudos to you, Jeffrey. I'm really excited to see where you go with that. And it's just one of those things where you just never know where the connection is being made. And I often talk about, talking to your audience or your customers and polling them and surveying them and just having a great relationship so you can kind of get a feel for what people like and what people don't like. And sometimes you just don't know, and people aren't really saying it every single day. So the imposter syndrome, the demons in your own head can say, this is useless content, right? So imagine yourself doing a public speaking gig and maybe like at a WordCamp or some other event, and you're making the slides and you're preparing, mentally for this talk, and you're thinking to yourself, man, I don't think anybody really cares about this, right? I don't really think my talk is good enough to really impress this audience. And then you make your talk, you do your talk, you present your slides, and then there's a bunch of people afterwards that come up to you and say, hey, really enjoyed that talk. I really learned a whole bunch of stuff, whatever it is that you're talking about, and thanks for the takeaways. But when you're doing the talk and you're looking at the audience, you don't see people like cheering you on. You see like concern and some thought, but that's because people are taking it all in and really thinking about the content. It's just these things you don't see. That's these little connections that are happening out on the internet that you're unable to see. Again, I go back to handshake, a traditional handshake where you can see the person, you can look them in the eyes, you can judge body language, you can see how firm they shake your hand. The digital handshake is a way to make that happen online, but still very difficult to gauge until you start getting that feedback. And that's when you know that what you're doing is good and that people want to consume it. That's why I haven't given up yet, but sometimes the imposter syndrome comes knocking on the door. It's like, I'm just going to shut down everything and move on to a whole other topic. But I won't do that just yet. It's mattreport.com, mattreport.com/subscribe to join the mailing list. We'll see you in the next video.